crash, and it's too late to reverse. Sometimes you make me a better person. Sometimes you bring out the worst. Sometimes we get on like fire. Sometimes we're stubborn like rain. Just when I think that it's over, you wave a white flag again. We fall out, then we fall back in. We're always back where we begin. Everybody hurts just a little too much. Everybody hurts, but it's never enough. It's wonderful to fall. Let's love and risk it all. I'd rather love just a little too much. Sometimes we're trapped in a circle till we're digging holes in the ground. We're driving, nothing is working, but still I want you around. 'Cause if I'm lost in the desert, I know somehow you'll find me. And if I drown in the oceans, you'll be the first to rescue me. Everybody hurts just a little too much. Everybody hurts, but it's never enough. It's wonderful to fall. Let's love and risk it all. I'd rather love just a little too much. Everybody hurts just a little too much. Everybody hurts, but it's never enough. We fall out, then we fall back in. We're always back where everybody hurts just a little too much. Everybody hurts, but it's never enough. It's wonderful to fall. Let's love and risk it all, even if it hurts just a little too much. I'd rather love just a little too much.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Sonder Social. I'm Malika. For those of you who have never been to a social with me, I know with the new year we have a lot of new folks joining the Sonder family. So, huge welcome to folks that are new. If you are new, definitely shout out in the chat. If you are a first timer, just say I'm new. We would love to give you a warm welcome. And for folks who are returning, where I can see a lot of familiar names in the chat. Welcome back. I'm super excited to set up our last week of January together. I can't believe that we're 1 month into 2025. And I'm very excited to kind of transition over to February. So thank you all so much for coming. And before we get started, make sure to set your chat to everyone. Just a quick reminder, sometimes Zoom auto defaults us to send your chats to the hosts and panelists, which would just be myself and my wonderful and incredible co-host, Katie. So she will be answering any questions you might have in the chat. So make sure to say hello to her. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. All right. I'm really excited for the weekly setup. Okay, So before we get started, since we do have a few new folks, I'll quickly run through kind of our community guidelines. Just remember to be kind and courteous to yourself and others, no promotions or spam, respect everyone's privacy, no hate speech or bullying, and limit any product questions or customer care inquiries, and send that to hello@silkandsonder.com. And just remember, Sonder socials are a great way for us to kind of get the most out of our journals. I love these weekly setup socials because there's so many ways where we set up each of these sections, and everyone in Sonderfam collectively has all these really great ideas of how they set these sections up. And it's not only kind of, you know, the like typical way where, to-do list, you think of like a bulleted list, but I'll walk you through it a couple different ways if you want to kind of veer off that path a little bit. And remember, like each week you don't have to set it up exactly the same. So that's what I love about these weekly setups. So these are a great time for us to reconnect with each other, bounce ideas off, and really kind of get our week started together. All right, so um, let's start talking about this month's theme of prosperity. When I think of prosperity, I always remember when I first started this month and I was thinking about prosperity, I always equate it with kind of financial wellness, and wealth and abundance. But when I think of prosperity, abundance can come in different like facets of our life. So abundance can come in opportunity, in maybe our health goals, maybe our self like growth, like our growth, our like inner growth, where we're just kind of identifying, how are we growing? Are we growing in the direction that we want to? We're taking inventory of things we're saying yes to, things we're saying no to. I feel like prosperity can come into different facets of our life. And I loved exploring kind of this month's theme together. So we'll kind of start off with the prosperity mind map. So if this is your first weekly setup of January, basically what we do is we do this mind map where we explore different questions to really drill into this month's theme. So we'll be focusing on kind of the last week together, and then we'll go ahead and move into our rose, bud, and thorn, where we reflect on kind of a highlight, a low light, and something we're looking forward to from the past week. And then we'll move into our weekly setup pages. So that's kind of the agenda for this evening. All right. So for folks who are returning, go ahead and flip to your mind map. If you are new, go ahead and turn to a blank page or scratch paper. It's not in your journal, so this will be something that you will do in addition, as the intro activity for this social. All right. So yeah, so quickly as a refresher, we kind of talked about this, how prosperity is oftentimes associated with wealth, and material success, but it also kind of encompasses other facets of our life. So for this week, this is this week's question. So, what steps can you take to cultivate a sense of prosperity in your life, regardless of your current circumstances? Consider your relationships, health, personal growth, and community involvement. So, think about kind of like what are those like actionable steps that you can take. Maybe you're feeling like you're feeling a little stuck. So how do we kind of unravel that a little bit? And how do we kind of identify what we can do to bring in more prosperity and abundance in your life? And it doesn't necessarily have to be, again, it does not necessarily mean have to be about wealth. You can focus on like one area if you'd like, or you can focus on multiple areas. It's really up to you how you'd like to answer this prompt. So I'll give you all some time to fill out your answers for that last question on week 4, and we'll regroup in a bit. All right. Thank you all for sharing your answers for kind of how you cultivate a sense of prosperity in your life or what those steps are. I think it's so personal. And I think there's always things that are top of mind depending on kind of what phase of life you're in or what's kind of what what your challenges are, or where like what areas need a little bit more focus. So it's kind of nice to kind of take this time to reflect on kind of thinking about those opportunities that are yet to come as we kind of shift our focus towards giving more attention to in those areas. So thank you. All right, so we'll now move on to our rosebud thorn. So for our rosebud thorn this week, that will be on page 50. So if you need a chance, just turn to page 50 of your January journals for your rose, your bud, and your thorn. And I always like to share a personal rosebud thorn with all of you. So I will go ahead and share that. So just as a refresher, a rose is something that is going well, or a highlight, or something that you're grateful for. A bud is a new and emerging opportunity, something that's new on the horizon. And a thorn is a challenge or something that you've been struggling with. So I think my rose for the past week was last weekend. I spent the weekend in Palm Springs with three of my close girlfriends. And it felt really good to just be with them. And I really feel very energized from their company. And it just kind of reinvigorates kind of the confidence in myself. So it was really, really special to kind of not only just be out and have a little getaway in Palm Springs, but also just to be in like good company after a long time of seeing my girlfriends. So it was really fun to see them and that group. My bud is, I'm really excited. My sister is about to deliver her first baby, my first niece. So I'm really excited to host my sister's baby shower next weekend, here in San Francisco. So I'm really excited for that. And then my thorn is work has been quite stressful and exhausting and very reactive instead of proactive, which makes life a little bit more stressful for work, just day to day. But everyone is very nice and kind and helpful, but it doesn't make work very easy when everything's very reactive. So just navigating through that a little bit. And with that, I will give you all some time for you to reflect on your rose, your bud, and your thorn. I am reading the chat as I was kind of reading my rosebud thorn, so thank you for all your notes. And then go ahead if you feel comfortable, share with us your rose, your bud, and your thorn for this week. Thank you all for sharing your rosebud thorn. It's so exciting to kind of feel like I get a glimpse into your lives. I think sometimes those thorns can really trip us up, but it's also nice to kind of take a pause and really identify what areas we need to focus more on, or maybe kind of navigate a little bit better. And then our rose and our bud, there's highs and lows to everything, and that's just life. So just kind of taking inventory of kind of where we need to focus a little bit more attention, and also kind of identify what we can celebrate. All right, we'll now move on to our the reason why we're all here, which is the weekly setup. So I will let people choose. This is one of those weird weeks where we're kind of overlapping with the next month. So if you do have your February journals, and you would like to start on that page on like the February journal, you can turn to page 26 of your February journals. But if you are following along in the January journal, you want to close out the month, go ahead and turn over to page 52. And we'll go ahead and get started with that box at the top, which is the box I always love to start with, which is kind of like our intention of how we want to feel this week. So think about what that word is. Maybe it's a phrase, maybe there's just something that's calling out to you. Think about kind of what that intention is and write it down and share with us in the chat. I see rested, I see strong and secure, I see invigorated, I see wise, I see productive. Here are some additional words also to help you come up with that word for yourself. But there's obviously some great words in the chat that I see. So calm, blooming, serene, genuinely good, energetic, renewed, unlimited, focus, accomplished, more balanced, amazing. These are all really, really incredible intentions. So thank you for kind of writing that down and sharing with us. We'll now move on to kind of the weekly major three goals. So that is just that box below. And the weekly major three goals are really can be any three goals that you would like to accomplish this week. They can be actionable goals, they can be kind of overarching themes. Maybe they are goals that are going to map directly back to your intention. So, say you wanted to feel really inspired. What are three goals that you have that are going to kind of help you feel like you're inspired again? So think about kind of how you want to kind of craft these goals. Maybe you had some goals that you had last week that you weren't able to accomplish this week. You can copy that over. Maybe there's certain things that you want to get done. Go ahead and kind of identify what those goals are. And I'll give you all some time to fill out your three goals. And then we'll move on to the to-do section next. All right. Thank you all for sharing your three goals. We have a lot of incredible goals this week that we are all going to accomplish. So I'm super excited for you all to get to it. I also loved Gloria also shared that she uses the Life Coach product at Silk and Sonder to kind of help craft those goals. So awesome. I love to hear it. I love to hear that that's a kind of an added bonus, which helps us kind of with our day to day and also our week to week. So awesome. I love to hear that. So thanks for sharing, Gloria. All right. We'll now move on to the weekly to do section. And that is going to be the box to the left. So as I mentioned, this could be a bulleted list. But I'm going to walk you through a couple different ways to kind of set this up, and it will be kind of a you don't have to set it up this way. You're just welcome to see the format. If it works for you, great. If you want to try it, great, but you don't have to feel inclined to do it this way. But this is kind of one of the formats that I want to walk you through. So this is the Eisenhower matrix. It really helps us kind of identify what's urgent and what is important and what is not urgent and not important. So it gives us these four boxes where we kind of identify what we're really doing, what decisions we need to make, what we can delegate, and what we need to remove, what we need to delete. So for me, it would be the delete pot in the delete column. It would be um anything that's kind of distracting me. So usually that means scrolling on Instagram or binging a TV show or scrolling on TikTok. Those things really pull from my kind of my core focus. So that would be a kind of an example of what I would remove. So that is the Eisenhower matrix. It's really popular sometimes. So that's a great way to set that up. You also have this idea of a need, want, hope to do list. So maybe this week you want to do something where you feel like you want to kind of also identify what is on your wish list. So you have things that you need to get done, but what are some things that you want to get done that maybe you don't necessarily need to get done, but things that you want to get done? So that's a great way to set that up. I love these other examples here that I think are great are this bingo board. So kind of repurposing that to-do list and making it a little bit more of a game so that you can cross it out with a marker or you can kind of put some stickers, whatever, make it more fun and make it more of like a game. And then also what you can do is something, this is typically what I do, is something similar to the one on the bottom right, which is a kind of a categorized to-do list. So typically, like I would think about, okay, what are some of my work stuff that I need to get done? What are some personal things that I need to get done? What are some things I need to do around the house? Those types of kind of categories just really help me kind of group my to-dos. So that's one way to do it. So you can definitely do that. I also like this option of what not to do. Similar to that delete section of the Eisenhower matrix, what are things that are just not serving you? That's not going to help you feel like you're able to get what you need to get done, or things that are just negatively impacting you. Maybe you've had a rough week. Maybe you just need to put some reminders of giving yourself a little bit of that pep talk to get you through. So there's many different ways that you can set this up. So don't feel inclined that you have to adopt any of these ways. But if you have other ways that you set up your to-do list, feel free to type in the chat and share with us. But I will give you all some time to write out your to-dos and we'll regroup for the habit and activity tracker next. All right. Thank you all for sharing kind of your to-do system and like how you set that up. We'll now move on to the habit and activity tracker, which is right below that's the sections we were working on. So for the habit and activity tracker, you can set this up kind of however you'd like to. I love these examples here. They're a really great way to kind of think about how you want to set this up. So you feel free to write in the bubbles. Here you can see that one in the middle kind of used some metrics as they tracked certain kind of fluctuations in their health kind of health habits. So whether it be color coding, whether it be writing it in a number, feel free to kind of use that bubble and really kind of make it work for you. You can also just cross it off. Here's an example of mine on the bottom right, where I just simply just cross it off with the colored pen. So identify kind of what those habits are. You don't always have to fill out a goal, but if you'd like to, you definitely can. And just remember to give yourself grace when you're picking out your habits. And also when you fill out those bubbles, sometimes life throws us some challenges and we can't always fill out every bubble. And that's not the intent. The intent is to do the best that we can and find those habits that are working for you. And like, for example, like I'm really bad at taking my vitamin D. So that is going to be on my habit tracker for this week to make sure that I'm kind of keeping that top of mind as I look at these pages pretty often throughout the week. So I will give you all some time to work on your habit trackers, and then we'll move on to the meal plan section next. All right. Thank you all for sharing some of the habits that you're tracking this week. We'll now move on to the next section, which is the meal plan section. So, the next three sections I'm going to walk you through, they're really repurposed. So, I'm going to walk you through several different ways you can set these up. So, for the meal plan, again, it's like a basically a blank box, so you can definitely use it for its intended purpose. Set up your meal plan or make it your food log. You can also use this as a place for daily affirmations. You can use this as a place to reflect on these seven types of rest, which are physical, mental, sensory, creative, emotional, social, and spiritual. You can use this as a place to kind of break out a chore and make it zone by zone. If that helps, you tackle kind of the overarching goal. So that works. You can also use this as almost like a wardrobe planner. You can use this as a place where you reflect at night. If you turn to your journals in the morning or the evening, use it as like a daily reflection where you can just kind of scribble out your thoughts. You can also use this section as a place where you can put your appointments. So say you have a lot of appointments, you have a lot of things that are on your calendar, you can use this section for your appointments along with all these other different ways you can use kind of this section. So I'll go ahead and make sure you all have some time to work on this section, and then we'll move on to the mind body health plan and the shopping list next. Mm, where is it? All right. We'll now move on to the next few sections. For these sections, as I mentioned, these are heavily repurposed, but the first one is the mind body health plan. So, for the mind body health plan, it's really your space to come up with kind of those treats for yourself as you navigate your week. So, maybe for you, it's like a workout class, or maybe it's calling up an old friend, or maybe it's answering kind of a reflection journal prompt, or it could be walking around the block or going for a walk in your favorite park, or it could be really anything that's going to help you feel kind of like you're giving yourself that space to reconnect with yourself, whether it be something that your mind needs or your body needs. So it's really your self-care plan. So feel free to kind of take that in whatever direction you'd like to. I love this example here, which is kind of the Motivation Monday, Talk It Out Tuesday, Walking Wednesday, Thoughtful Thursday, Frustration Free Friday, Sassy Saturday, and Self Care Sunday, which is the Silk and Sonder setup, which is what you're already doing. So that's always a fun one. I love that idea. So you can definitely do that, or you can just make it your self care plan. So, I'll walk you through the shopping list section next. So, of course, if you have a lot of things that you need to purchase, or you feel like you need to put your grocery shopping list here, you can definitely do that. Here are some other examples. Again, it could be a bingo board, it can be a place where you can put intentions. You can use this place to put your favorite quotes. It can really be anything that you want to put in this section. I typically put like a quote here, or if I have, a trip coming up, then I put like my packing list. There's so many different ways you can set this up. So definitely feel free to take it in either direction. This is truly a blank box. So it's really a place where you can kind of repurpose if you would like to. So I'll give you all some time to work on your mind body health plan, and your shopping list, and then we'll regroup for the I am loving section at the very end. All right. We are nearing the very end. We have one little section left, which is the I am loving section. So I love this section, and I invite you all to kind of sit in your chair or wherever you're taking the social, maybe roll your shoulders back, and even if you'd like to close your eyes for a few seconds, to really identify and visualize what you're truly loving in your life. So think about kind of what that is for you. Is there something that's going particularly well, something that you're really grateful for? I know we reflected on our rosebud and thorn earlier, and kind of think about kind of what you're loving this time around. Think about what that is and write that down. Share with us kind of what that is. Ooh, I love this. Layla is really loving connections. Amazing. Yeah, I really think I'm currently loving. Really taking my time on the weekends for a reset. I think I tend to kind of let work bleed over into the weekends and kind of deprioritizing my personal to-dos or my fun activities that, make life fun. So I'm really loving kind of making sure I protect that time for the reset instead of kind of stressing out on the weekends with work. Thank you all for sharing. Ooh, I'm loving naps, feeling creative, how far I've come. There's slow, simple living, mandala craft class with siblings, motivation to make changes, getting to know my new students, getting to work on a board of nonprofit, feeling purposeful, resting. Amazing. This is all so wonderful. Thank you all for coming and spending this hour with me. I know this hour goes by so fast. But I hope it kind of helps alleviate any Sunday scaries that you may have had earlier, and helps you feel really focused and productive moving ahead into your week. So, thank you all so much for spending this hour with me and Katie. We're so excited. Make sure to share your weekly planner pages. As you can see, I had a lot of examples from you all, so make sure to do that. It's in Sonder Club for folks that are new. Download the mobile app, sign into your account. You have access to the Sonder Club, and that's how we communicate outside of these community events. And Katie already dropped that YouTube link for you, which houses all of our past socials. Also, keep in mind, I know Gloria shared her personal experience with the personalized life coach product that Silk and Sonder offers, but feel free to check that out. Katie will just drop the link. It's coach.silkandsonder.com, and it's really a great product. It unblocks you when you feel stuck. You can use it to supplement your journaling. It's really per your convenience, and it's really tailored to you. So really think about kind of this product. And there's also a really cool event that's coming up. So for folks who really are interested in this personalized coaching service, and they want to supercharge their journaling journey through these actionable recommendations that are really tailored to your personality. I encourage you to bring your friends, your colleagues, your anybody in your life that may be curious about the product. Meha is doing kind of a session, and it is going to be really exciting. So make sure to join that. Katie will drop that link as well. So we also just want to make sure we're extending the invite to our most loyal members, so that you guys have first dibs on signing up. And we'll be asking for questions in advance. So it's a great way if you want to meet Meha. She will kind of answer some of those questions that you might have. So yeah, so if you're more curious about the product, definitely dial into that session. Sign up for it. Katie dropped the link. So yeah, all right. I think that's it for this evening. Thank you all so much for spending this hour with me. I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Sun's